Send that message. And there we go. Alright. So let me extend a welcome back to returnees and I guess first-time viewers. It wouldn't be a welcome back, but a welcome to first-time viewers for another Monster Mash. We are testing out a monster that I've designed for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and I am accompanied by a group of my friends here. Just some basics, this is an easy encounter. It's designed that way so it gives me a good way to gauge the monster. Hey Melkor, welcome back. Welcome into the chat room. Good to see you. And so, we are testing an easy monster, which means the PCs the party for is one level below what the monster is built at. So that being the case, let's go ahead and meet our PCs for this session. So played by my good buddy Zach, the person whose fault it is that I've spent so much money and time on Pathfinder in the first place. Zach, I actually asked you to build something I asked the whole group to build something a little specific, but you even more so. Who do you have for me tonight, Zach?
Well, your request was that I create a final girl, which is a horror movie thing, and so I decided to make my favorite one, Ellen Ripley from the Alien series. She is a human inventor. I want the weapon archetype to try to replicate her handmade flamethrower that she uses in the movie.
Very cool. Very cool. Hopefully we'll get to see that work for you tonight to not blow up in your face.
Yep.
I'm just going to go in clockwise order here. So next is going to be the newest member of our group, Wicked Oreo. Oreo, who have you built for this? And so for the rest of you guys, so while I told Zach to build a final girl, I asked the rest of you guys to build a camp counselor.
Yes, and my lovely camp counselor is Amelia. She is a wellspring gnome bard whose entire purpose is meant to entertain the kids as they go through their camp.
Yeah, and so what I kind of envision with given Ripley's age and experience, Ripley might be sort of one of the head counselors here. The rest of you may be newer counselors, or maybe a little bit more experienced in the case of Ryan, who we'll get to briefly, because first off, we have to look at Decaf's character here, Kristen Appleby's.
Yep. So for anybody who subscribes to Dropout TV, you would recognize Kristen Appleby's as the eponymous cleric from the Fantasy High series, being that she was a camp counselor for the god Helio, sun god of corn. We're going to come in as the newest associate to this summer camp to provide guidance as well, but maybe with a stir towards some more divine methods.
That was such a fun series.
Excellent. Well, last, bringing up there, and I feel like I kind of leave him for last pretty consistently. It's no slight against him. Is Shy. So Shy, you're running another, looks like he's one of the more world-weary characters out of this set here. Who are you playing?
I have opted for overall image I kind of had in my head after Decaf offered an idea was basically just hiker dad. So yeah, he's the kind of the outdoorsy camp counselor whenever they go hiking, anything out in the forest. This is kind of his foray, helping out there. And he's got himself a couple walking sticks almost pretty much at all times. He's probably even using one right now.
Well, excellent. So now it is worth mentioning that your camp, the summer camp that you all participate in, help run, is within a setting of a fantasy world. So while you do teach children how to, survive in the wilds, like what bears are good to eat, basic skills such as rowing a canoe, stuff like that, you also teach them just the general wisdom: don't ever go in the woods. There's nothing in there worth getting involved with. Everything is horrible and trying to kill you in the woods.
Where do
This
we
is
live? In
best
Germany?
identified by some of the posters that you guys have in the mess hall. You know, there's the obvious, the stranger danger posters, but there's also alongside it a poster that proudly proclaims, "If you see a Fae, stay away," and others that that dictate, "If you're seeing double, shoot twice, stay out of trouble," depicting a camper forced to shoot a crossbow at what appears to be his friend, as well as a exact duplicate of said friend.
Man, we are a
Who meaning the
lovely
double-
camp.
Oh, man, I'm glad I built this so happy character.
Man, D&D summer camp sounds awesome.
Listen, it is a simple fact of the matter, if you live in a setting where things like owlbears and the Fae exist, the woods is a horrible place to be.
Yeah, I guess I guess there's a
Vampires.
difference between if I meet my twin in like that setting versus like this setting. I meet my twin here, I'm like, yo, what's up? There, I'm like, bro, come here. I'm gonna
Stop
like,
looking here.
there's violence. There's violence. Like, how dare you
I'll
use my
catch it,
skin?
kill it.
Skinwalker. And so, the four of you have gathered and are probably discussing your plans for the next trip. Maybe it's a foray into the woods. The rest of the campers have retired for the evening, leaving the four of you to chat, to discuss your plans. And as you do, as I am unpausing the game to allow you a little bit more freedom to do so, there is an eeriness to the night, an unsettling feel to it that enforces many of the lessons that you teach here at the camp. And as you sort of feel the sensation, you hear, and this is actually probably Ryan that takes note of it, there's this eerie rustling of bushes, this sort of snapping of twigs, and you swear you hear this weird, faint, like echoing sound in the back of your head. This sound.
Bruh.
And as you are hearing that, I need to know how a 27 compares to your will save. Your will DC.
Good
Sorry.
lord. All right, hang on. Just
Will
me?
be-
Or anyone else?
Just you. I can still only target one creature with this ability.
All right. Against that is a critical success.
Okay. So Will, you are Ryan, sorry, played by Shy. There's no will involved anywhere in this
Yeah.
in this test.
Man, I don't know where that one came from. Oh my god.
Fire at will.
So you are indeed frightened too. And now let's go ahead and roll for some initiative.
All right. Man, I love being frightened too when I go to roll for initiative.
I know. It's the best way for me to start this combat. Oof.
It's kind of rude.
Very oof on my part.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Alright, so
There we
Amelia
go.
got a 17. Alright, you know what? That works out. Alright.
Crap.
Alright, so beginning this counter, Ellen, you see Ryan get really freaked out by something. He's kind of like looking around. Just very like spooked. You can maybe even like see like the hairs on the back of his neck standing up. What do you want to do?
Is he the only one that heard that sound?
Yes.
I will say that you, just because it's part of his character, he has like forest terrain, so like he's very comfortable in the forest for himself normally. So I don't know, do with that information what you will, I guess.
if our wilderness guy is getting spooked while we're out in the wilderness, I think Ripley is gonna just go to our tent and grab her little craft project.
The arts and
And,
craft project you've been having the kids help you with all summer.
Yeah, been teaching them how to make impromptu weapons if they get
Yep.
lost.
Yeah, perfect.
And you come back to the fire in case it's like a bear or an
Okay.
owlbear
All
or a
right,
zombie owlbear.
that sounds familiar. Amelia,
Hmm.
it is your turn.
Yes, and noticing that our lovely outdoorsman got spooked by something, I do think it's probably for everyone's benefit. I'm going to cast Courageous Anthem to allow all friendlies, I guess, within 60 feet.
Nice, nice. All right. So
Plus
you
one
guys
bonus.
feel free to apply that anthem as Amelia starts singing a rousing campfire song.
I could fake sing, but then I don't think anyone would watch, so I'm not going to do that.
You don't have to.
CAMP.
Let's not place the emanation.
Wow.
Don't place it? Crap.
Yeah, no, you
Just
can. Yeah,
for-
you're good.
For the sake
All
of
right, we'll
the
just
viewing
assume
audience.
everyone's here. After that, because that is a lovely one-action cantrip, I'm also, because I can't see what spooked him,
You
I'm
can
just
always
gonna cast-
seek.
Oh, well, I could do that. Once I figure out how to do the action of seeking.
It is a perception check.
Oh, I'll do that.
And you can
then.
choose an area or like a cone, stuff like that.
Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna wait. Where is lovely Ryan? Ryan got scared. He's down there. I'm just gonna try to look this way. Hopefully, you can see where I'm pointing.
Yeah, I can.
And I'm just gonna try a perception check to see if I can see what spooked him.
Go for it.
Crap.
You look down towards the south and your eyes try to like pierce the darkness, but nothing is making itself apparent. There's looming shadows, but nothing that's like that's a person or that's a bear coming to attack us. Nothing like that leaps out at you.
Okay. All right. Then I'm just gonna cast shield afterwards.
Okay. Bunch of scaredy cats.
Uh,
Ryan.
Cam.
Well, you said the whole theme of the camp is there's nothing good in the woods.
There is nothing
That's
good in
true.
the woods. This is true.
For yourself, there. Is it Amelia? There we go. You can apply each of your effects by dragging the spell effect
Yeah,
onto
if you look in the text you
token.
posted to the chat, you should see it says like spell effect shield. Yep, there you go.
I gotcha. Thank you. Oof.
Excellent. All right, Shy. What is Ryan doing? He's got the just like he's hearing stuff like these branches snapping, maybe like it almost sounds like the panting of like an animal or something. Just weird, concerning noises.
I think he's trying to just rack his brain to make sure he's not like knowing that this is kind of his thing. He's probably just trying to like, okay, hold on, breathe, observe the situation, prepare. So he's probably, like I mentioned, he's already got like a walking stick out, which is his staff as it is, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's gonna grab his other like small walking stick, helps with like long, like more uphill climbs. It's
Okay.
a light mace. He's
Okay.
gonna pull that out. And then I think I'd also like to try and
Seek.
maybe seek, just kind of try and observe, probably in the same direction, actually,
direction,
somewhere
behind you.
around here, maybe even in the trees, actually.
Okay, yeah, go for it, man. Give me that perception check. Let's get rolling. Unfortunately, a 10 reveals nothing to you.
Shocking.
Your eyes,
I don't really
you've
feel like
been
he has
staring
much
into
else.
this. You've been staring into this fire for a while as you guys have been talking, and so as you cast your gaze backward, it's taking a second for your eyes to adjust to that darkness beyond the glow of the flames.
I think he'll just. I don't feel like he has I guess I could seek again, but I don't think he has anything else he would do.
Okay. All right. Well, that brings us what I'm sure to you guys looks like is Kristen Appleby's turn. But the truth is, it is not Kristen Appleby's turn. It's my turn. It's my turn to play. So,
Frightened goes down, yeah?
Frighten goes down to 1. Yep. So to start my turn off, I'm going to do an action with the Concentrate trait. So I'm gonna... Let me see, there's no real good way to do this. You know what? Alright. Here's what I'm gonna do. Decaf. I'm gonna throw the controlled condition on Kristen. This, you aren't actually controlled. This is just me marking something to keep track of information.
Okay.
Alright. So that was one action. Then, for 2 more actions, a burly figure wearing ragged tunic and coarse pants erupts from the foliage. His face is covered by a mask, by this sort of like simple mask that's strapped to his head by by a leather belt. In his hand is a simple clawed hammer that you can see is stained red with rust or blood is not immediately clear. But he erupts from the forest and he looks a little bit like this. Minus he's wearing the mask when you guys see him.
It's a hobo.
Lovely.
But this is done by...
Oh no, it's an adventurer.
This is done by Useless Bum, or Seth Monster, as he's also sometimes known elsewhere. One of my favorite artists at the moment. Use him for a lot of stuff. Great guy. Should check him out. But, so this guy, for his second and third action, he is going to emerge. Whoops. There we go. And he is going to stride. Now, as he strides past Ryan, you sort of, whether you mean to be or not, you kind of end up in the path of this creature. And so, without even sparing a glance at you, one of these, like, this is a towering man, one of these huge hands just comes out and just, like, backhands you, kind of just sort of tries to knock you aside as he uses his shove aside reaction. So he's going to attempt an athletics check, and this will be against your Fortitude DC.
Alrighty then.
15, I imagine, doesn't do anything.
That would fail, yes.
Okay. So he shoves you, you manage to hold your ground, you maybe stumble a little bit. But he seems fixated on Kristen. So Kristen, as this figure emerges, he draws back his hammer, and you feel certain as you see a glint in the light that it is blood that still stains it. And he lashes out with a strike against you. And so what he is doing, so because I decided to use the first action to begin with, he used Relentless March. So it's essentially sudden charge, but it has a couple modifiers riding on it.
Hey, looks like Decaf just full lost internet for a sec, so 1 sec.
Oh no! Alright, so...
No.
Hang in, folks, as we try to fix this issue here.
Should, in theory, come just right back here in just a moment.
Yeah, I'm going to swing while we're waiting. Get that out of the way.
Is there
And,
anything that you would have done?
Ooh. That is a critical hit.
Oh my.
We say no.
How frightening.
It's
I know. He literally rejoined the Discord call as you were like, that's a critical hit.
Yeah. So let me sorry, this is gonna hurt. Because firstly, you're gonna take 30 points of damage. And then
I mean, I'm down.
because I was gonna say
I
there's
have
also
26. We're level 2. Come on.
there's also the deadly
Nope.
trait.
Nope. There's nothing else.
Doesn't that mean that you're actually dead?
No,
And
no.
Just changes the die or adds a die.
Yeah, it adds a die. All right. Well, fixation is downed. So Kristen's will move in the turn order. Ellen, it is your turn.
Ellen will start.
Oh, I
There we go.
see.
Move to around here, and use 2 actions. One to draw her a healing potion, and then one to give it to Miss Applebee's.
Okay. Go ahead and roll some healing.
If I just click this. Yeah.
Yep. So, Decaf, Kristen is back with 7 hit points and wounded 1. That is all of Ellen's turns, which means we are to Amelia.
Oh, good. My friend just got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, just took a claw hammer to the head.
I think what we will do for now is cast Void Warp
Ooh.
against the Slasher Brute.
Okay. So a fortitude save from the brute. Make sure I got him selected. I will click on this save. That is a success. So he will still take half damage.
Let me roll the damage then. Oh. Yes, thank you for flipping over to a 3.
All right, so you unleash this just this pop of negative energy, of this energy from the void, from the place of unlife, and the slasher barely flinches, but this masked face does turn in your direction.
Oh crap! And then I will use my last action to cast Shield again because now I'm terrified of it coming after me.
Okay. All right, that brings us back to Ryan.
Well, geez. While Kristen's on the ground, can I benefit from a flank if I move down?
Yes, because she is conscious
All right.
and she does still threaten.
Sounds good to me.
Out
gonna
of
go
recon,
ahead and-
thanks for joining the chat. What you missed is my monster one-shotting the cleric.
Feels
But-
good.
Yeah, the party is rallying against it right now, with Ryan stepping into place behind this savage who just knocked his friend out. And
All right.
what are you gonna do?
We're gonna go ahead and hunt prey.
Okay. So, much like he eyed up Kristen, you get a measure of this guy.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and do a twin takedown as he swings both the staff and a light mace towards this butthead who just smacked one of the counselors.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Yeah, I didn't know how else to word it. I also just realized that I don't know how to change how much agile is accounted for. So I have different.
Well, if you have there should be an icon in your attacks page. It's like
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, okay. I
make
see
sure
it.
it's your hunted prey. Yep.
Yep, cool. That'll do it. All right. He's targeted, and I'm gonna go ahead and make my swing.
Excellent.
Z-
All right, so you come bearing your weapons. The first one is a hit. The second one is a critical hit.
Wow.
Nice.
Let's go.
So go
All
ahead
right, these
and
are
roll.
combined for the purposes of damage reduction.
Very cool. All right, 18 points of damage. And so
Thunk, thunk.
as you just bash this man in the back of the head, and I imagine like you sort of just sort of like swing them almost together in a singular blow. You hear a crack as the buckle holding his mask in place snaps under the force of your strike, and his mask slips and falls away.
Oh,
As he-
great.
And as he turns to you, there's not a face there. There's an absence, just this sort of black void in the center mass, and it almost seems like, the skin ringing it, the parts of the face that still are there that are ringing it, almost seem like they're getting drawn into this darkness. And you swear as it looks at you, as much as a creature like this can look, that something in the darkness inside of it is whispering to you. Anyway, anything else you want to do with your turn?
That would have been all three.
Okay. Well, as your turn ends, your frightened does not go down
Oh, lovely.
because there's something very unnerving about the very presence of this creature. Kristen, you are once more conscious, joined to the land of the living once again. What shall you do
Breaker?
with this opportunity? There we go. Oh,
He's.
having more
Remember the
issues?
delaying thing that was
Oh
happening?
no.
Why we don't get?
Whatever you guys pay for internet, it's too much.
No. We have great internet because I've tested it.
So,
As an individual who streams out while someone else is able to watch a movie and someone else is able to play online games with one of the people here named Oreo, our internet's fine.
Shameless self promo. That's all I heard from that.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Oh, you're allowed. Okay, hang on. Hey.
I'm letting him allow it. He's put in the time.
He's been here longer. I see.
Is it?
Oh,
Ahoy.
I heard.
Hello?
Is it? Is that just
is
catching
that
up?
too delayed?
Just taking a minute.
Yay.
Well, chat, how you guys doing? As we wait for.
No, he's back.
Oh, is he?
That's what we
I'm
were saying.
literally back.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that was past you or current you. It's hard to tell. So,
Time paradoxes.
yeah. What does Kristen Applebee's want to do? Uh-oh.
Starting to go. Kristen is starting to GoFundMe for the player decaf for a new computer because clearly.
Shameless self-promo all over the place tonight. Okay. It's one action.
Action. That's not a free action to talk. Oh, I see how it is.
It's free action to talk. It's one action to self-promote.
It also
I know
takes
what I'm doing on my turn.
She would like to cast fear.
Okay. All right. It will attempt a will save.
We'll probably succeed.
All right. It is frightened 1. This is almost impossible to tell, given its lack of a face. But I imagine maybe it's the grip on its hammer slackens a little slightly, and maybe takes half a step back away from Kristen as it sees this prey, for lack of a better word, that had just struck down, starting to stand up against it. So that would be 2 actions. I'm not actually counting the self promo as an action. So is there anything Kristen wants to do with her third and presumably final action?
Cast haste. Just
Sounds like a good old crawl away.
Okay. All right, crawling between Ripley's legs.
Phrasing.
It is the Brute's turn. The Brute is frightened. Nevertheless, I think what he's gonna do is he is going to turn on Ryan. And so first thing that he does is he fixates on this new victim, on this person that smacked his mask off. And so, I'll throw that up in chat. So Kristen, I'll remove that controlled condition that I was using to track this from you. And I will apply it to Ryan instead. The slasher brute sort of turns his hammer in his hand, getting a better grip on it, and will bring it to bear against your skull. And miss.
evidently not very well.
I've got a hard head.
He turns it in his grip, like as he misses the first swing. He turns it in his grip and swings again, trying to catch you with the claws of the hammer. So he's going to use a versatile piercing property of his weapon. And he will get you even with the frightened 1.
Alrighty.
So the claws rake, maybe they get like caught under a rib or something, or a glancing blow to your chin to deal, almost max damage there, 16 points of piercing damage.
Man, you're rolling well today. At least with damage.
At least
Jeez.
with damage, yeah. Alright, that is all of his actions though, because it did take him an action to fixate, which brings us back to Ellen Ripley as we go into round 3.
Alrighty. First action, she's gonna fiddle with her invention, turn it to fire mode. So she's going to load a lesser alchemist fire into her alchemical crossbow. And then second action, she's going to fire at the faceless monster.
Alright. Ooh, that is a hit. But let me reduce his fighting condition, because his goes down.
Alright, D8, and an extra D6 fire.
Almost max damage on your end as well.
Oh, crazy.
Alright, so this bolt sinks into his back, maybe punching into like right next to his spine. And the bolt itself has this alchemical fluid on it that burns, it flickers with flame. But it makes not a sound, turning noiselessly to glare at you with its eyeless face. Well, faceless face, I guess would be a better way of putting it. One action remains.
Final action, reload to get ready to shoot again.
Okay, reload and fire again, as they say. Amelia.
Amelia is hopefully going to use a free action to communicate with Applebee's to see if they are able to do healing or if they would like me to do healing instead. For possibly Ryan, who has just taken a massive hit.
It's been a rough day. I have 1 heal in me. I can handle it once.
Then I will accept that as the answer,
were-
and then I'm going to move.
There were a lot of
my-
kids that banged up their knees today.
Yeah. Plenty of
Or lost them.
troublemakers. I want to go. I'm just going to move like this. One action to move right there specifically. And then I'm going to let him do that part. And I'm going to cast Bless
Ooh,
for any allies within 15 feet to get a +1.
very nice. Okay. So that, I think, that's an aura, so I think if we throw that onto you, yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
Very cool.
That's super convenient because I was about to drag it and that came up the second I did it. So sweet.
All right. Well, Ryan, it is your turn. Because that was a move and a 2-action spell. So, Ryan, you dealt a good blow against this thing, but it kind of gave as good as it got.
I'm probably gonna do what I usually do, which is just
away.
I think he's got one thing that he does well, which is smack,
Okay.
and he's got the ranger, which allows him to do it really well when
That
it
is
comes
true.
to smacking a lot.
Yep.
So, especially because I don't really have anything else, and he's already hunted prey. So, twin takedown, I guess.
All right. To open it up, let's see what you got. Ooh, a hit. And what about this second one? Ooh, another hit. Okay, excellent. Go ahead and give
Let's
me
go.
damage. Shabaloo, the plan is indeed to slash them all.
I was going to say, Shabaloo, are you voting for us or the slasher?
I already downed one of them. He got brought up, but
Murder Mon. Gotta slash
Bro is rolling fucking well on his damage too.
yeah, he's trying to bring this thing down. 2 actions remain to you.
He's got one thing.
Yeah.
He's just gonna smack it with both sticks.
Yep.
Actually,
All
no,
right,
he's
but
gonna
no
keep
more-
smacking with the small stick.
Okay, taking advantage of the agile trait.
Precisely.
All right, let's see it. Let's see if you got it in you.
Yeah. So
I
even
don't-
at max map, I've only got a -4. This is delightful.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think you do got it in you. Nope.
Oh.
That one sure didn't. Also, I'm gonna remove the bless effect from the
Ooh.
slasher.
That's
I I appreciate that.
All right, that is a hit. You did indeed have that one in you at the very least. 5 damage. Okay.
Whack, 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 whack.
Yeah, just a flurry of blows as you strike out
Ah.
against this brute. But this solid wall of flesh and muscle does not buckle under your assault. Almost dedicated to seeing you brought low.
That's
Kristen,
concerning.
it is your turn. You are on the ground,
I am going.
in between Ripley's legs.
Yep. To crawl again.
Okay.
Get over here.
Yep.
I'm going to point at Ryan. I'm going to keep doing what you're doing. Have some life.
Live, Ryan! Live! You don't want to do a 30-foot emanation? Heal yourself while you're at it?
Nope. We'll take the risk.
Alright, a solid 13 points of healing. That almost undoes the hit against him. It's pretty good. Alright, that brings us back around to the brute's turn. Let's see. You're definitely a threat. But I do
That's
want
fair.
I do want to use some of the parts of its kit that it hasn't quite succeeded at using yet. And so I think what I'm going to do is I am going to fixate on somebody else. I'm going to fixate on this person bringing hope to her
Oh,
allies.
Oh no.
This beacon
The healer, right? The one that hey.
and the brute.
Dang, Oreo.
Boy.
The brute will then make a relentless march towards you. And as it does, it will
Yeah,
trigger its... Oh no, actually, you know what? It's not going to use that reaction.
Okay.
Normally it would use its shove aside, but we're gonna save it for something else. Anyway,
Good luck, Amelia.
here comes the instrument of murder strike.
No.
27.
Oh,
Actually, you know
it's
what? I
not a
think that should
crit.
only be a 26. It got blessed back for some reason. Okay,
Nope,
so
nope,
that
for crit.
is a hit, and the hammer, he brings down this hammer upon you. And it's like, it's not like a hammer made for combat. It's not made to be a weapon. This is just some simple workman's hammer. As it
Alright,
crashes
any
down upon
chances-
you, it deals 10 points of damage. And that is my turn. Ripley, believe it or not, it is your turn.
You.
What? You got something to
Ripley
say?
will attempt to repeat her action. And she'll fire again at the menace.
All right.
There's the
Unfortunately,
menace over here.
she misses with her second shot. A flaming bolt streaks off into the night. You're a yowl of a
She
cat
will-
in the distance.
Reload? Yeah, shoot the cat. She shoots her cat. She'll reload and
Oh.
fire again. Aw.
The cat does not make another sound as it is hit the second time, as it is enough to slay it.
Oh.
That cat has 1.3.
Fired. I missed. Fired again. Missed again.
Amelia,
Oh, well, this thing has decided to come up nice and close and hurt me, and I don't appreciate it in any way, shape, or form. I am going to
understandable.
cast Gouging Claw.
Less understandable.
Too bad. I am going to do it as piercing.
You don't want to
That
slash the slasher?
No.
By
Roll
any
it.
chance, did you give them slashing resistance? That'd be funny.
So that is unfortunately a miss.
Son of a gun. Well, then, with pain and fear behind, not too much fear, but some fear behind my eyes, I am just going to cast Shield and hope that it doesn't hit me again.
Okay. All right. Ryan, it is your turn.
I think it's obvious what he's doing at this point, man.
Yeah. I'm
He's-
not surprised.
He's got one thing that he does.
All right. So you stride into place and erupt into a flurry of blows. Wait a second. No, that's a
Man.
monk thing.
And yet, it
Oh,
might as
man.
well be.
That would have been a crit. Oh wait, no, that actually is a crit. Specifically because of
Oh.
the
Frightened?
flanking. Yeah.
Or not frightened. Yeah, that. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm,
All right. Boink.
Well, so. Oh no, actually. So you want to know the bad thing about you combining damage here?
Hmm.
I have a reaction.
Well, no. So, and there's like it mentions it like for good or bad.
Yeah. So, the slasher brute is reduced to 0 HP and can see its fixation.
Ooh.
The slasher
Uh-huh.
brute remains conscious at 1 HP, but its wounded in value increases by 1.
I love the huh.
No?
Wait a minute, what?
So you deliver a blow that you are certain should have brought this person down. But they are still standing. Fix
All
it
right, the
on Amelia.
final action. Huh? Yeah.
God, you
Oh,
just
Ooh.
do not miss. All right, go ahead and
Razor.
roll damage. I already used my reaction, so and he's at 1 HP. 5 damage,
Based because he doesn't miss.
and the brute drops.
Man, who'da thunk I can play a monk out of a ranger?
Second one comes.
Might
So,
have to give that more of a shot down the road.
I mean, you should definitely check out that video I sent you.
Duly noted.
So,
That's some.
We need to talk to the camp surveyor because this keeps happening.
it's the 5th one this week. So,
That's
after
actually why we were so exhausted after the previous part of today, and why he's so accurate is because he's so used to having.
Damn kids keep summoning them.
after an arduous fight,
Keep
the camp counselors
confiscating the Ouija boards, but they keep taking them.
in 4 rounds have managed to bring low the slasher brute. So, that covers the encounter portion of this evening. From here, we're going to discuss a little bit about the design here and see if we need to make any changes. Right off the bat, I want to just sort of describe the lore behind the slasher brute. The main concept is, I mean, very obviously, I wanted to kind of bring classic slasher horror movie villains into Pathfinder, kind of as like creatures and stuff. I do intend to make more, but this is just like the most basic form, inspired mostly by the likes of Michael Myers, Jason, the classic ones, the ones that most people think of when they think of slashers. Just big, beefy, brutish men. Now there is some lore to it that specifically ties into my setting. And Decaf would probably be the most familiar with this. These slashers are fragments, are pieces of the imprisoned god of fear and the void.
Ooh.
Ah, okay.
So they're like the lowest form of his servitors. And so,
Baby boogie.
yeah, so they are aberrations and fiends, and that is actually why they are the fiend trait, because they are related to this deity. I built them as level 3 because I wanted to build it as something that is like a threat to regular townspeople within a Pathfinder setting without being anything like overpowered. And so this puts them around like the same level as like ogres and stuff, which are also, at least in the Pathfinder, very heavily inspired by another horror trope, the sort of a horror hillbillies that you'll often see, such as like Leatherface and Wrong Turn. So they keep similar company. But right off the bat, I know it had the slasher brute had a fantastic opening hand there.
It was
Fantastic
a little
opening
concerning
gambit.
at first.
But how do you guys feel overall? Just like basic impressions before we get into the numbers or anything like that.
I thought it was pretty neat. I liked it.
I like it. I'm curious if there's ideas of having, because this is a slasher brute. It makes me think: is there less beings than a slasher brute, like just a normal slasher, to come? And if so, if they're paired up, I wonder how that encounter would kind of go.
So I'm thinking less like just slasher, but more ones that are like a slasher tormentor who maybe is more along the
Ghostface.
lines of like
They're the ones that puts you on the hook in.
I was
Dead by
thinking,
Daylight.
Daylight.
I was thinking of for the tormentor, I was thinking more like a Freddy Krueger who attacks you mentally.
Monster nightmare.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see.
Or
Okay.
or maybe a slasher tricksters or something who like pretend to be dolls or stuff like that, based off of stuff like Chucky and Puppet Master.
Oh yeah, they pretend all right.
Yeah. But that is the basic sort of concept. Shy Decaf, any basic thoughts right off the bat?
I got nothing. I
Okay.
will say in comment to what it's related to, for your sake, Oreo, there are others. Again, this being noted as like the lowest servitor. There are others. They are big.
Yes.
They are
Yes.
mean. They force allies to kill allies, and it's awful.
Well, that was one of his highest form of servitors, to be fair.
Shouldn't have
But
failed
yeah,
that
no,
save.
it's fun.
Yeah, no, I think even with like that fantastic opening, I think it was exactly that. It was a fantastic opening, and otherwise it felt fine from there on.
Yeah. Yeah, felt like an easy encounter. I'm inclined to agree. Um Excellent. So let's talk a little bit about numbers. Now, just to start off, I will mention that the slasher brute is somewhat expectantly built after the brute roadmap. So that generally suggests low perception, higher extreme strength, high to moderate con mod, lower dexterity and mental mods. Then it usually says moderate or low AC, high fortitude, low reflex or will or both, high HP, high attack bonus and high damage, or moderate attack bonus and extreme damage. Now, where that relates, I did mainly follow that. Not a, there's, you know what, I honestly don't feel super compelled to discuss attributes just because they don't really factor in to any of the other numbers it's got going on. Uh, it does have a low borderline terrible perception, but it does have dark vision. Um,
Makes sense. It doesn't have eyes.
Yep. Skills. So its athletics and intimidation are both high, given that it is very physically capable, and it wants people to be afraid. It's a spawn of the god of fear. Um, its stealth is a moderate bonus, because slashers classically will just like appear behind their victims and stuff like that. And then acrobatics is low, as is survival. And acrobatics is just something you generally want to have on a physically capable monster, whereas survival is, a lot of slashers are uh, tied to like natural environments kind of concept. Armor class, we are looking at a moderate armor class, and in turn, it has high hit points. Obviously, fortitude is its high saving throw, with reflex and will both being low. Actually, I had to roll really well to beat that fear you threw at me. No inherent weaknesses or resistances. Basic speed. I did have thoughts about making it slower or something. Classic slasher. I just felt like 25 is fine. It's you don't want it. It doesn't have any range attacks, and so I don't want this creature to just be kited to death by a party. That took like fleet at 3rd level or something. It has a high attack bonus and high damage to go with it. Normally, it's damage is the damage is suggested to be 1d10 plus 6. I decided to split it up for Instrument of Murder, and that is mainly because of this ability here. And so, slasher brutes favor using mundane tools and utensils as instruments of brutal murder, leaving their victims with a fear of something usually innocuous. A slasher brute doesn't take a penalty to wield improvised weapons, and improvised weapons it wields become +1 striking. An instrument of murder gains the deadly D10 trait against the brute's fixation. The featured brute wields a claw hammer. The only thing I do want to correct there is leaving their survivors, because obviously their victims would not be alive to have any fear left to feel.
Well, you're saying if you die, you wouldn't be scared
They gain a
after it
phobia
happened?
in the afterlife.
But yeah, so this is like a classic horror movie thing. Like, I mean, you have Jason who uses a machete, which is, I saw it, but it is traditionally a tool for clearing stuff. You have Michael Myers who uses kitchen knives. You have oh god, I actually can't remember his name. The character
Ghostface?
from Hatchet who uses a hatchet for like chopping wood and stuff.
I was really hoping it wasn't a hatchet.
It would have been
No,
quite
so
funny.
it's I mean, he uses a bunch of other stuff, but the hatchet is just his most iconic.
The character from Hatchet using a screwdriver.
But no, it is
That would
a
be
very
funny.
classic horror villain trope to use these like mundane tools. And so
I mean, to be fair, and this isn't an against like anything, and it's just like it makes sense just because most horror movies are based on the idea that it's like it's our real world, so it's not like they're gonna be walking around with a samurai sword. Like,
yeah.
You don't know.
Do if they're yokai.
I have one right here.
no, I was gonna say it is pretty easy to just go down to like the mall and just hit up that store.
Right,
We
Zach,
all know
we
which
need-
one that is.
Zach, we need to write a we need to write a weeb slasher horror movie villain.
I mean, I think Dead by Daylight already did that.
Did they? Okay.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they have like the Oni, which is an actual Oni, and then they have a couple others that are like, I guess.
Right, but
gangsters, you could call
they're actually like the ones that use a katana are like actually Japanese. They aren't. You can't be
them.
a weeb if you're Japanese. That's
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I suppose.
that
No,
is
but
your
there's
culture.
isn't there like there's like a term for like the shut-in?
The otaku.
Is it an otaku? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Anyway, talking about this creature,
Anyone
Obviously-
chat like Naruto?
so what it opened up the encounter with is the eerie environs, which is actually a ranger feat.
Ooh.
That I just thought was a perfect fit for a slasher, and I wanted to adopt it to here, so I did so. But that is what got Ryan scared to begin with. And then what kept you frightened was
Interesting.
the slasher brute's unnerving aura.
That's a
Oh,
very
Just
holy
pick Kara.
crap.
Hang on.
That's a big
Yeah.
aura.
Yeah, I could see reducing it. If you guys think it should be a smaller aura.
I mean,
I did not realize it was 30 feet.
I would say 30.
It depends, I guess.
that's
Do you
fine.
think if
can
it's
make it-
ever going to?
I could see making it 15.
It probably doesn't need to be very big as it is, just because he is melee oriented. But I'm not really sure.
We'll
I
do
don't
15.
think there's really a downside to it
Well,
being bigger
We'll
either,
do
though.
we'll do 15 because there is some other power I want to put elsewhere into its kit. We got to see fixated ferocity,
That's
which
fun.
is it's just ferocity, but he needs to see his victim. We got to see it
Well.
didn't work, but we did get to see shove aside. This is that classic horror movie, like somebody tries to stand in the way of the slasher villain and they just toss them through a wall or something. So it even has the whole like if this moves a creature into difficult terrain, hazardous terrain, or into an obstacle, the creature is knocked prone. And then to demonstrate that like the slasher brute is so focused on its target that it doesn't even like this is barely even an acknowledgement of whoever was in its way. This doesn't contribute to the brute's multiple attack penalty as long as its next attack roll is made against its fixation.
Say the fixation is what's coolest to me because I was curious if it was going to be something similar to Ranger's
It
Hunted
is.
Prey.
Yep. This is heavily based on Hunt Prey. +2 circumstance bonus to perception checks when it seeks, survival checks. That is all based on the Ranger. What is different is the bonus to intimidation checks to demoralize as well.
Man, so Ryan's just
Using the weapon.
fucking 2 steps away.
From
Yeah,
being a slasher.
He's the next slasher brute.
he could be. If he just takes eerie environs at level 4.
He's right there.
That's why we keep going through camp counselors because they keep turning into slashers.
You see, you guys see,
Oh, that was Michael from about 2 weeks ago.
you guys see Ryan eyeing the mask that he knocked loose from the slasher brute.
It calls to me.
As
Man,
that's
this is
scene ends, ready for the sequel.
it's the mask. What's it from Lethal Company?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Big mask.
And then obviously, so like there's the fixate, and then it's just the relentless march. Now this is something I kind of want to add a little bit more to, because what I am discovering is, especially if I try to change my fixate targets, and it probably shouldn't be doing that too much. I just honestly felt bad after downing the cleric in one shot that I changed my fixation. I want to add that if this hit is successful, the creature becomes frightened 1.
That sounds fair.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah, I would do it. If it doesn't, one shot the poor cleric, I think frightened one is absolutely should be understood. They're seeing the creature approach very rapidly and pushing aside anyone that gets in the way just to get to you. I would be pretty frightened.
And
Okay.
if it does one shot, it should leave him at frightened.
I mean, I could put, if this downs the creature, its allies become frightened 1.
Or that.
That would be all right. I wouldn't mind that either.
Oh, that could be the 30-foot aura.
Any
we
creature
get
within
one shot
30
A.
feet that sees it.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm looking at doing for Relentless March. All right, let me just type this out here. I'm going to move this aside so I can see. Yeah, Adept Recon is correct. The Hatchet trilogy has some of the goriest and most interesting kills in a lot of horror movies I've seen.
Even more interesting than Jason's.
Yeah, Jason's got some
He
good
does-
ones, but it
Yeah.
is some of the shit that they get up to in Hatchet is just absolutely crazy. Right. If the Slasher Brute reduces the creature to 0 hit points, all of the creature's allies within 30 feet become frightened 1.
I just Googled Hatchet movies. And one of the first pictures is, oh, it's so cartoonishly gruesome how how bad it is.
So, what do you guys think about that?
I dig it.
Okay.
Ooh. I don't mind it being on a hit. The creature becomes frightened 1.
I
I'm
do,
trying to
yeah.
think of. I'm trying to think if it maybe needs to be on a crit hit,
Hmm.
but that's the only part that I could think of because your creature has a high attack potential, it could hit fairly often if it's not going after the tankiest Ryan over there. But it's also
Yeah,
still
Ryan
not
was just
terrible
lucky.
because Ryan was also frightened 1 the entire time anyway, so
Yeah.
it was due to other things. So I don't mind it. I like it.
The
Okay.
only method you had otherwise of getting above Frighten 1 was via a critical success on the Intimidation, right?
Correct.
I don't Frightened Frightened is obviously a very, very powerful debuff. I will not say it isn't, but I don't think
It's not going to change the encounter by
And
having a
also,
1
with it
difference.
being 30 feet,
yeah.
you can, or with the aura being reduced to 15 feet, a character can spend 1 action to make sure they end their turn outside of the aura and reduce the frightened 1.
That's true. This thing also doesn't have any sort of reactions, so
Not to stop them
At
from
least not
moving
for
it away.
that.
Yeah.
yeah. So I do think that's absolutely fair.
Well, all right.
I don't think I see a qualm with that. Yeah, it's like it'll always cap out at like the 15, like Frightened 1
Yeah.
outside
and
of his
it's-
demoralized attempts specifically.
Yeah, and that is also like why, and I didn't go for like a higher frightened value because it is a level 3 creature.
Yeah, and that was the main thing I had.
Well, excellent. I think that covers it. Anything else you guys want to add, suggest,
Uh,
ask about?
I'm curious. So if it were like an average encounter, what's the like medium? What's what's the word for that?
Moderate encounter?
Moderate. Thank you. So that'd be like a group of level 1s, right?
Yes. Yep.
How much damage does this guy do on just like an average hit?
12.
12? Okay. Which most starting characters should be able to live through unless you deliberately tanked Khan and are a wizard.
Yes. Yeah, I did notice
Which
when
is
I hit.
possible,
Well, I did
but
notice when I hit Kristen. Poor Kristen only had a 13 AC.
jeez.
So this is the great disparity for those of us who watched Dimension 20. In D&D, as a cleric, they start with like medium to heavy armor, and her AC is ridiculously high. She's relatively difficult to hit, but obviously she's described as wearing just like clothes, a tie-dye t-shirt, and all that jazz. But her dexterity is a 4. So I was like, no, she deserves to get hit. So I actually took voluntary flaws when I built her to
Oh,
bump
no.
her strength and charisma with her wisdom and just got rid of dexterity and constitution.
Oh no!
That's funny.
That's her dexterity is painful. It's literally a -3. It's so bad.
Adapt Recon actually did bring up a great point, and I was telling him he's curious on what the plan for the creature would be if there is like only pretty much ranged characters. I would assume the Relentless March because I don't think there's anything else that is.
The Relentless March definitely helps because that lets it potentially spend 3 actions striding and still being able to get an attack in as long as it's already fixated on a target. It also has options, like if it is in the right area, I mean, it can always just try to like hide in the tree line.
That's true. It wouldn't. It would
Use
attack at opportune moments.
Yep,
I'm
use
gonna
cover.
dip out, but this was fun.
Of course,
good
yeah,
run.
we're probably just wrapping up around here. So,
Yeah.
Zach, thank you for helping. Thank you, the rest of you, for also
Yep.
helping me test this. If there's no any other comments, questions, concerns, I think we are good here. The Slasher Brute is ready to menace. So, thank you everybody who is watching, has either caught the stream or is watching this on YouTube. We will catch you again next Saturday. Players, that good? Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, should
Yep.
be.
All right.
Probably. We'll let you know.
Hopefully.
Perfect. If that case, then yeah, we will catch you next Saturday for another Monster Mash. Until then, stay safe, be good. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Night.